So I'll wait for you guys to come into the chat, and then you guys can tell me if I'm blurry. I have my fan on. We have 98 degrees here in Texas, and I have no air on and probably 90% humidity. So I'm using a fan. Let's hope it keeps me from not dying. The air conditioning is so loud, but I think you guys are coming in. Let's see if my phone is catching the tower. And then we are going to go deep into how to start the carnivore diet from any other diet. All right, we've started. Yay! Okay, whoever's coming into the chat, let me know if I'm blurry, because we're taking a risk here. I'm not in town. Got the hair blown in the wind. And let's see. Okay, you guys let me know if I'm coming in okay. Not blurry to me. Thank God. Okay. Ugh. All right, I'm going to do this real fast because I know the signal is going to get really bad soon. I was thinking about it. A lot of you guys are doing carnivore and you're coming from keto diets. I have a lot of people on my course page coming from ketogenic diets or from standard American diet or low carb, high fat. Oh, awesome. And I thought it'd be a really good idea to teach people how to transition from one of these other diets into carnivore. And then how to transition the frack out. What's up, Chastity? You guys know that I am a big, staunch believer in using carnivore for the short term, not to lose weight, right? Mainly to fight leaky gut, which most of you guys have. What's up, Gabe? Most of you all have some type of leaking gut. That means, and I've shown my hands a million times, and yes, I got horse gym hands, excuse me, but that's a tight gut wall. It opens up like this, holes, and that's a leaking gut. That means that you have a difficulty absorbing vitamins, minerals, proteins, all type of stuff. Just started back on carnivore today. I tried it for 60 days and only did 30 days, then went back to keto. Feel my best on carnivore, so I'm back in it. Okay, Sweet Lady is your name. A lot of the times that people don't feel that well on any diet, to be honest, is because they just hear like how to do it and no one's explaining in detail. What I suggest for people to do is make sure that you do not have commonly hypochlorhydria. That's low stomach acid. A lot of people who've got heartburn think that they have hyperchlorhydria, but typically it's low and the body's just squeezing the acid up to the chest to compensate for having low stomach acid. If you've got low stomach acid and you're burping and you've got heartburn, starting off with this type of carnivore that you hear online could be detrimental to your health. Also, I would go and see if you guys can do a health check called AGFR. This is the rate at which your kidneys filter. So there's a lot of little tubes in your kidneys and fluid needs to be able to go through them and flow right through them with no problem. And if you begin to have byproducts from protein getting stuck in the kidneys, you're dehydrated. It can damage the kidneys over time, to be honest. People develop things like gout, inflammatory reactions of the feet, sometimes the hands, but typically the feet, the ankles, from gout, from having too much uric acid buildup, from kidneys not working properly. I would also make sure that your leaky gut isn't so bad to where you are losing key important proteins and minerals just for protein per protein and minerals for your electrolytes. So a lot of people are not looking into these things. They just go, oh, well, this person told me to do this and that and this and that. Also, you want to consider if you have hypoglycemia or a thyroid problem, when you do something like carnivore, you could make those conditions worse if you don't know how to do it. So how you start is, again, like I said, know if you've got any of these health conditions. A lot of people who have problem with, like, let's say on keto, who do cruciferous vegetables. Hi, Stephanie, I suffer from eczema. Do you think that the carnivore diet will help me? Uh, yes, 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 for the short term. Now remember, the carnivore diet is great for the short term because, as I've said, people who have skin issues, they will have great results within the first 1 to 3 months, and then they plateau, and then the skin starts doing weird stuff after that they can either have like a reverse reaction, a rebound effect where they're having die off, or they're having their eczema is getting worse because they're losing two key enzymes called diamine oxidase and as well as N-methyltransferase. These are enzymes that break down histamine. A lot of people lose that ability to maintain their histamine while on these diets. Now, protocols to heal the gut wall start with getting your rest. Like if you're doing carnivore, you have to balance your blood sugar, and you have to make a ketogenic version of carnivore. Quit with the high protein. So quit with the high protein. Stop. It's just stupid. Like I said, the kidney chronic dehydration is a real thing. And a lot of gurus, they don't think that way. That's why they don't tell you that. And if they do have health issues, are they going to tell you? Well, no, everybody's going to think that they're an idiot. You know, a lot of these doctors out, well, they're doctors, but there's doctors. If you take someone like Sean Baker was doing high protein, low fat. Now he's adding a lot more fat. And he did an interview with me where he started asking about why, you know, how much fat do I consume? Like, just, it was, the whole thing almost was about fat. If you go and check out that interview, or maybe it's for its MeatRx private group, but I don't remember. Maybe it's for both, I don't know. But at that juncture, he was still doing high protein, and maybe he had health issues eating high protein and had chronic dehydration and some issues, and was thinking maybe I should add more fat, because being on a carnivore diet is good and bad because you can't use protein for energy. You have to make a ketogenic version of carnivore so your health doesn't tank. You don't want your health to tank. And a lot of people, their health does tank. I know that because I did carnivore for almost a year and my health tanked. But you guys know I don't have a problem being straight with you. A lot of people, they don't tell you because they've got, like, you know, sponsors, and, you know, they're trending, and they're afraid of losing their audience. If they tell you guys, it can be very problematic. I'm here for the supermodel photo shoot. Okay, I know you say that ketones should be around 3, but in the evening they're at 6. So you're not, Gabe, unfortunately, those ketones, when they get too high, your body doesn't use them. They're just swimming with nowhere to go. They need to go open the door of the cell and go in, and that's why 6 is too high. It's not dangerous, it's just too high. Let me see there. Sometimes should I eat more cruciferous vegetables to lower it, or can it stay in the 4 to 6 range? It cannot stay in the 4 to 6 range, and I don't know what is making it go high, and that's the problem. So how you transition is, like, if you're doing low carb, high fat, you would probably go taper down in carbs over 4 weeks if you've got really bad hypoglycemia, and that's why you're doing low carb, high fat, or if you have gallbladder problems. If you have a gallbladder problem, you have to address the problem, or you can't do carnivore. You can't do high lean meat carnivore. You're going to make yourself sick, and that can just back up cholesterol within the gallbladder anyway, and just keep the gallbladder problems going. So people often say, like, you know, will eating high fat give me a gallbladder problem? No. Eating not enough fat and eating high protein that's not high fat will give you a gallbladder problem, or it could over time, or being a vegan. And you have no energy with high protein, low fat. You have no energy. You really don't. And people will start drinking coffee. That's why the whole carnivore trend with, like, caffeine became so popular, because they have no energy. You guys know I'm all about keto omnivore, but I teach all 3 diets. And since people are going to do carnivore, even though I'm telling them to do it only for the short term, I might as well have you guys do it in a way where you don't damage yourself, or so easily damage yourself. Now, so you want to, hey, how's it going, arm wrestling fan? It's going. Some days are great, some days are frustrating. Like, I'm trying to get this land, I'm trying to secure this land so I can move. But that's a whole nother freaking conversation. Otherwise, I'm great. Now, by the way, you guys know I do consultations, so if people are interested in a consultation, I have to remind people, because this is what I do for a living, and I forget to do the business side. You guys know I don't have any affiliate links. I have a company right now that they actually, I'm going to digress for a second. They came to me before I forget. They came to me 2 years ago wanting me to have an affiliate association with them, and I was like, I can't deal with that now. I was like, I can't deal with the money now. No, it was because when I promote, I'm going to promote things properly. It's a company that's called Let's Get Checked, and they do all blood tests. So I get a lot of people asking, well, do I need this blood test for my consultation? Or do I need this blood test while I'm on this diet? Do I need to know what's going on? And I'm like, always, there's certain things that I think are great, and they test most things. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the paperwork with this company and agree for them to be a sponsor. So I did ancestral supplements, but I need to talk to them for a couple of reasons. I don't want to like do internet talk about companies like that, but I need to talk to them. Otherwise, I need to. My real estate agent's calling me. It's like, do I talk to my real estate agent that I need to talk to, or do I finish this live stream properly? So I'm gonna have to call him back. When you're going from low carb high fat, if you have a gallbladder problem, please just work out the gallbladder first. That could be through flushes, cleanses, taurine, glycine, TUCA, oxbala, lipase. These are, betaine, HCl, chewing your food slowly, mixing your fat with protein. There's a lot of protocols. If you guys want to sign up for a consultation, I can teach you how to deal with your gallbladder. I've become really, really good at it. I've also become really good at dealing with people who've got hypoglycemia on anything that's low carb. People's health tank arm wrestling because they're not eating enough fat, or they eat too much protein, or they don't know what their existing health is, and they're doing 2 pounds of protein, and then they start damaging their kidneys. So anytime you do a diet that's deemed or seemingly extreme, you have to understand what your existing health is, and nobody preaches that. All these doctors don't preach that. Know what your health is, so you can transition into this diet properly, doing over like 4 weeks instead of overnight. Especially if you have a gallbladder problem. It has to be a high-fat version of carnivore, and you have to eat at least 200 grams of fat. And I don't want you to eat a bunch of ribeyes to get that fat, so sometimes you want to go ahead and add either butter, lard, or tallow to your plate. Then if you guys are already at a keto omnivore and you want to go to carnivore, because your skin is acting up, right? Don't do it for weight loss or anything else. Otherwise, getting that fiber is so important, so you can continue to produce amino oxidase and N-methyltransferase to keep the histamine down, and also for that probiotic to grow on. And I did a video on, like, if you're going to do carnivore and you insist not to eat plants or avocado for the potassium, then try to get tendons, chicken feet, anything that's has a fibrous matrix, bones broken down and pulverized, and sprinkle that shite on your meat to get some fiber in. So if you have any type of probiotic like kefir or something like that, that it can grow on that. So that's another little hack. If you're going, so my suggestion, if you're doing keto omnivore and you're okay, stay there. Don't go to carnivore. But if you're having skin issues and you're having leaky gut and allergy and histamine and bloated and headaches and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and the anti-nutrients and plants are just too overwhelming right now, then you do carnivore. And then you would do it for, from 4 weeks to 90 days, 30 days to 90 days. And then you would have to make a ketogenic version. And then if you're having hypoglycemia, you would have to split up those meals throughout the day and do 3 main meals and fat snacks in between. You have to, right? Or you damage the thyroid, the adrenals, all types of the sex reproductive system by robbing from DHA with cortisol, because your cortisol is going to go real high. A lot of people do carnivore and they're like, well, why am I more dehydrated? I'm like, because you're getting less minerals that you need to balance your electrolytes by just eating meat, like potassium, unfortunately. Unless you're doing oyster extract. Well, my parents still have acne in their 50s. How you think my skin is? Okay, well, I'm in my 50s. You guys know that I'm 54 and I'm almost 55. 54 and a half. And a lot of people know that about me. That if you guys look at my old videos, you see that I look a lot older than I do now. So I've learned so much. Everything's trial and error with everyone and every single client. And whatever guru says, whatever, don't take it like 100%. Like, just don't listen to me. They're like, oh, well, they said, or this person's super fit. You don't know if people are on steroids, if they're like super jacked and doing fasting and carnivore. Like, you know, like myself, I'm pretty transparent. If you ask, I will tell. But when you look at a lot of these people, they don't look well. You can see that I look well. Y'all see that Steph looks well. Okay? Woo! Almost dropped my phone. And some things you can have muscles, but really looking at someone's skin, looking to see if they got broken blood vessels around the nose, dark circles under the eyes, you can really see if people are really struggling with the liver, with the kidney function, with their electrolytes, with their lymphatic system. You can see it. If you have the trained eyes, you can see it. You know, it's the same thing with women going through menopause, perimenopause, and I have a lot of women who are going through stuff like that because I'm in my 50s. They're like, how are you not on any HRTs and are able to still keep the muscles? And that is because protecting your adrenals while you go on a low carb diet is everything. You have to go to bed early. You have to get the water in. You have to get the sodium, potassium in, and the magnesium, and you have to make a habit out of it. You cannot not overstretch your adrenals if your blood sugar starts going like this on a carnivore diet. I mean, you have to eat every 3 hours. You really, really do. And if you can't do oyster extract for your potassium, and you can't do avocados, then you got to be really careful not to do carnivore too long, because you will start to have issues with not getting enough oxygen to the heart, because your electrolytes are jacked. They're hijacked. Okay, I'm going to answer some of these questions. Okay, so fat gives those minerals? No, fat doesn't give you the minerals, right? Not just like fat, but like avocado, which is a plant, has minerals. Fat gives you the substrates for energy to make ketones. Protein gives you the substrates to give you blood sugar and not stored glycogen. And if you don't have stored glycogen and you do carnivore for too long, you're damaging your hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal, and thyroid functional systems, period. My body likes oils more than butter. What does that mean, Star Taylor? That doesn't make any sense. Oils, what, like coconut oil? No. You know, it's probably because you might be using MCTs, and you probably have a hard time digesting LCTs. Coconut water has too much sugar. That's a hard pass no. I noticed that I don't really digest veggies well, so I'm trying to do carnivore. So here's another thing. You can do vegetables, but you have to do so small amount of vegetables and train your body to the histamine response. Find things like thymus and kidney to give you in that meat diamine oxidase as you eat a little bit of vegetables, like 3 tablespoons, and get that gut wall healed so you can start getting back some of the things that you find in vegetables, like the potassium, like the fiber, or the vitamin C. But you can get that in liver and oyster extract. Let's see here. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate it. Don't be mad at me, but I just tested my blood ketones and they're 7.2. How do I lower it? Gabe, I just need to talk to you personally. It's so hard. I don't know. I have to know what you're doing to then tell you what to not do or what to add. I mean, as a guess, I'd say cortisol, obviously leaky gut. Obviously your gut is you're like, look at your poop. Okay, if it's pale, if it's floating, if it's not solid, not like hard, but like solid banana, whatever they call it. I feel like the high protein, low energy is true. When I started eating this way, I felt tired. Just because you weren't ketogenic, her name is. And sleepy after now that I'm eating higher fat. I feel more, yeah, so fat, your body can only burn fat and carbs for really good energy. Ketones, and your body can actually convert fat into energy through a couple different processes. So, but ketones are great. Protein, it can convert your, protein can be converted back into sugar, but it's not enough to fill the gas tank. Then the adrenal system starts getting wonky anyway. Nothing happens overnight, magically, Melissa says, and that's true. I'm trying carnivore, and anyone who does carnivore, you have to eat organ meat. You can't get away from it because it has vitamins and minerals that you need. That muscle meat is not enough. You hear that? You guys know I'm living in an RV, looking for land. I thought I found land, but I didn't. So I'm scurrying to find another land. You're 41. Okay, most is 41. Duck oil, tallow. So birds are more higher in omega-6. Fowl, not the best to do all the time, but you can mix it in. Lard, or should I have said animal fats? Yeah, some more like ruminant, more like your pig, your lamb, your beef fats, and cow for the butter. MeatRx now, was it Rivero? Your interview with Dr. Baker is now there, and it's public. Okay, so Kurt says that my interview with Sean is now public. So Sean is super cool. Like, we had a nice little, very chill interview, but I was just saying, like, he was asking a lot about fat. So you can see my interview on his thing now. No MCT, right? Nah, it's just a waste of money. Olive oil, it could be somewhat beneficial to high monounsaturated fats, but I noticed that people's blood sugar and their ketones tend to balance, get into the right ranges on animal fat rather than just trying to use monounsaturated fats. I know people talk about the APO4 gene mutation where some people can't do saturated fats, and it's still speculative if that's true or not. We're not really sure. I've got one guy in my course. So I do a course and I cover all 3 diets: low carb, high fat, keto, omnivore, keto, carnivore. And a guy's like, my blood sugar just won't go down. And I'm like, we can check to see if you got APO4, just to see if that's any type of connection. But if you guys want to sign up for that, it's only $15 a month. You could do 1 month or continue on a subscription. And I also do consultations. Or you can go to my Instagram, which is Stephanie Ketogenic, because there it's always free content. And then you guys can see my life, my crazy life. The Cali girl who left Cali for various reasons. Y'all know. And it's not on this side. It's on this side. I ain't feeling it. Okay. If you don't want dairy on keto, you could add fats like tallow or lamb fat or pork fat or beef fat. It's easy. You don't have to do butter. Can you flex your muscles, please? Guys are always weird about that. When people ask, I don't want to do it because it's creepy. Okay, she doesn't like bone broth. It's not that I don't like it. It's just that it became a trend, right? Bones smell like a rotting corpse. So we've always loved soup when we were growing up. Oh, the chicken soup, or the beef soup stock, whatever. But somehow bone broth became super popular, and it tastes like shite. People have to spice it, or they'll just like in denial. When you're using a leaner meat for the stock, for the soup, the flavor is divine. So then adding fat to that. And the reason why I don't like bones anymore is because there's a lot of oxalate crystals, shards of glass, bad for your everything. And then it also has glutamate, which is giving people migraines. So careful on that. Your statement about sleep is so important and true. Found that sleeping heals. So your body starts to heal between 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. And a lot of people are like, but I sleep. I'm like, no, you're not in a deep sleep. You can't just be unconscious, right? Yes, our bodies are that finicky. You have to be in a deep sleep for your body to go into an anabolic state of repair. If you don't sleep deep enough, you're not repairing. And that's why people don't lose weight. That's the reason why they don't fix their autoimmunity, their thyroid, their gut doesn't close, because they're not sleeping deep enough. Facts, just the way it is. And then their day is so catabolic as well. They put too much pressure on the day and too much pressure on the night. The body has to rest. So true. So yeah, everything's coconut oil is trendy, MCT's trendy, bulletproof coffee, trendy, bone broth, trendy, intermittent fasting, trendy. Like, they're all trends. Anytime there's a trend, you have to be very careful. Just don't be a sheep. Although my little horse makes that sound too. So don't be a little pony. Although my little pony's a little badass, so don't be a sheep. Just don't follow trends. Question everything. Question me. Question them. I don't care what doctor's on, what interview, or what person, or I don't care. A lot of them don't work with enough clients over time, and everybody, I don't care if you're a doctor or not, they're always going to push what is trending against their better decisions. If you haven't noticed, look at the world today. Money is not a good thing. Don't forget to like up the stream, you guys. I don't check the likes because I just don't have time to do it. Left Los Angeles, California 2 last year. Horrible. Yep, Melissa, me too. Last year is when I left, and I was so, I was cranky. I was bitter. I was jaded that my favorite place on the planet would just turn to garbage. And I was really upset that nobody could see it. They would just, I was the only one who left out of the people I know. And I was like, y'all leave. Horse people. Alfalfa went up to $30 a bale, $28 to $30 a bale. It used to be 15. It's double in price. Like, that's expensive when you got to buy 10 bales, you know, for horses, because there's no grass in California in most areas. My home became garbage. Yeah, exactly, garbage. Melissa says, yep. The farm animalceuticals. I'm good at putting those words. The farm animalceuticals are so jacked what they want everybody to have. And now things are coming out, and people still don't know that stuff is coming out, and that now there's more information to be like, don't do this or don't do that. But people don't listen. They don't listen. Did your diet? Yes. I would definitely say that the diet definitely helped me age backwards. People are like, oh, black doesn't crack. And I'm like, yeah, look at my old videos. It does. It sags. It's dehydrated. It's unhealthy. Yeah. I was like, my face was looking distressed before. And now it's a lot better. So I'm pretty happy. I mean, I age, but I don't have the same rapid aging that most people do, or that I did before. How do you schedule a private the consult? Danielle, just go to my website. I don't want to like talk prices. So just go to my website. It's stephanieperson.com. I'll put it in the show notes below. And there you can book a consultation. And I'm a lot of people are like, oh, your prices are too low. In fact, I hear that all the time. But because the world's kind of gone crazy, I feel a little uncomfortable raising the prices for now. But yeah. Tips for recovery after serious workout, particularly legs. Oh, yes. First of all, recovery starts before you work out. And that starts with drinking enough water. It takes 45 minutes for your muscles to be hydrated from the water that you drank. People come with those big, huge, like, gallon jugs of things at the gym. I'm like, that's so dumb. Start before, right? So that your body, your electrolytes can have your body perform, your heart, your muscle contraction perform properly. That's number one, to avoid soreness. Number two, magnesium. Most people do not take magnesium, which affects your central nervous system, which helps post-recovery. Yes. Number three, eat the right foods for post-recovery. Right? Eat good quality protein if you can afford it for post-recovery. Yes, protein. Protein coming from a cow or lamb or a little chicken if you don't have, not chicken, the eggs. No, I digress. Not the eggs, the yolks. I would say something with omega-3s in it, like organ meats, fish, oysters are really great. Rest and stretching. Pretty simple. I'm not all about taking like protein powders. I'm against all that garbage. People want to get branched chain amino acids for recovery. That's up to you. I don't suggest it. I just suggest getting your BCAAs from the good quality protein itself. Will keto help with the blood clotting? I said the words. Conditions come off. It depends how it happened. It depends on why you're forming the blood thawing. I'm gonna say thawing. It depends. If it's because you got the little, sword up in the shoulder, then you're SOL. I don't know though. Okay, so do you agree with supplements? Most of them, no. But some of them are necessary. Like people who've got gallbladder issues, like they don't function unless they add like bile salts to their diet. Or some people have hypochlorhydria, so using betaine HCl for the short term to encourage stomach acid to return to somewhat normal for your age could be advantageous. People who've got potassium issues can't do avocados, and so they would take a potassium citrate for the short term, things of this nature. What's the best food for magnesium? You're not going to get it. You're going to have to take supplemental magnesium because our soils have been overfarmed, and you're not going to get a lot of magnesium in food. There's some magnesium in fish, seafoods, but not enough. It's negligible in animals or in seafood or, yeah. What's up, Precious? Thank you for the nice comments on my Instagram. Thank you for the horse videos. So you guys, my Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. B12, what? 1078 ferritin, 273 from Ketovore. Keto carnivore diet is the bad, or show how do I get it down? Oh, you gut's probably jacked up. There is no quick solution. I'd have to actually talk to you how to get those numbers down. A lot of people got high numbers like B12. You're not absorbing it. That's the problem. So it's the gut wall. Melissa says, I hate drinking water, but I'm going to start. Yeah, people don't drink water. That's bizarre. Yo, if you don't drink water on these diets, there's my horse. Y'all want to see my horse? Y'all, can you see my horse? He's thirsty. I think I need to go let him in so he can drink. I'll be right back, you guys. Hold on one sec. Oh, shite. Shite in the bed. Darn it. Hold on a sec, you guys. I'll be right back. I need to let him in to get some water. Come on, boo-boo. My boo-boo. Pass my boo-boo. Actually, I could take you guys with me. But nah, the signal's gonna get weird. Come on. Come on. Come on. Hey guys, I'm back. I'm back like that. Okay guys, I'm back. Who stayed? Who stayed? Who left? Who are the people who stayed and left? For me, my B12 was always high because I was taking in synthetic, and since I'm MTHFR, my body didn't recognize. Oh yeah, that's right. That's one thing I did not remember to say, which is your body to uptake B12, methyl B12, methylfolate in B12. So that could be a problem, but even people with MTHFR gene mutations can still methylate a little bit, but you got to get your whole life in balance to be able to do that. There's a lot of people, there's like, they say that 40% of the population is single or double gene mutation for MTHFR. Kazakhstan. That's pretty cool that they come from Kazakhstan. Okay, let's see if you guys have any more questions, because I think I gotta go. Star says, I'm not stabbed. She's not stabbed. You have to be a woman. Okay, so Susan says, hi Steph, what's the difference between ketovore and carnivore? And Rob Wolf, LMNT electrolytes, okay, no. I love you, I love Rob Wolf. We actually did a talk at the Paleo Effects together. We were on the same panel, and he's such a sweetheart, but he likes to eat high protein, and they use a lot of chlorides. I'm not talking about sodium chloride. We're talking potassium chloride, magnesium chloride. And these things can be harsh on the liver that's already struggling with chronic dehydration, which is very easy to become chronically dehydrated on these diets. So drink water when you're transitioning into carnivore. A lot. I mean, not sip water a lot is what I meant. 2 liters, 2.5 liters. So ketovore, they're calling it different names. Ketovore would just be high-fat carnivore. Right? So it's still carnivore. Carnivore is just animal products with high fat. But almost all the people who say that they do carnivore are either drinking coffee or they're using stevia. So who's carnivore really, right? I'm confused about protein. Some say body weight in grams. Nope, Susan, just wipe all that away, because nobody's factoring if your stomach acids are low. If your stomach acids are low, you might have a hard time breaking down protein. So in my consultations, I really go by people's digestion to decide, and if they're an athlete or not, to decide how much protein. It's not just per pound of body weight, because what if you're obese, but you're 5'2"? That's not logical, you know? It has to be by you as an individual and what you do and how your body is and how your health is. Topical transdermal magnesium is great. It's chloride, but it's in such small amounts, then it doesn't damage the kidneys or liver when you're having that much chloride being put on your skin. So that's okay. Her name says, I'm glad I started following you. So much great information. Thank you so much. Her name is, I try to title things that are like realistic, like how do you go from a standard American diet or a low carb high fat diet or a keto diet into carnivore, and then how do you transition out? So you transition out slowly. If you're carnivore and you want to go back to keto, you literally have to introduce your vegetables every other day, 1/4, 1/3 cup max, and then slowly work your way up to a cup every other day, then a cup every day, 1 meal. And that's really all you need. You don't need to eat vegetables all day long, because we're using it for the fiber, even though you guys don't need fiber to poop. No, you don't. But we're doing it for the prebiotic gut balance of bacteria. I did keto for the last year and thought transferring would be okay. I don't have issues with veggies. There's no need to do carnivore then. Why do it? You might lose the ability to have no problem with vegetables if you do carnivore for too long. Up to 3 months, you got to go off. You can add an avocado for potassium. There's a little bit of fiber in there, and that will keep your bacteria, your enzymes that create antihistamines will. Oh man, the little pony there. I gotta go feed there. I got stuff to do, honey child. People, Lord have mercy. Thoughts on zucchini? It's a little high in carb. I would say give it a break. How do I learn how to like avocados? Well, you have to figure out if you have an avocado latex allergy. Some people don't like it because they actually are sensitive to it, but they don't realize they're sensitive to it. But you just start with a tablespoon at a time. Okay, read that. So do they lie when they say seeds have a lot of magnesium? They don't have enough magnesium for what your heart needs. So they have more magnesium than other foods, but seeds also have phytic acid, which rob you of minerals. So it's like a double-edged sword. Hottie Lux says, got in late. Hi, Steph. I think I may go carnivore for the month starting tomorrow. Just do it for a month. That's all you need. And don't do it for weight loss. That's just not smart. There's a trend going on called semen retention. Do you think, I never heard it, that men can get more energy from staying? No, deviate. These are all lies. Honey, don't listen to these people. Your body is made up of different systems that need to go through, I mean, how you treat your body, like, as a 360-degree circle in a 24-hour day is the point. Not a diet. Not keto, not carnivore, not this don't, slap the what's it called? The spider monkey? Yeah. Everything is so complex, but I want to be healthy like you. I'm not stabbed. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it just takes time. When I first started getting into health, I'm like, I'm never going to learn. It's just going to be like you learn one thing and then there's 5 million more. But after a while, you're like, okay, I kind of heard of that. Again, I've heard of that, and I've heard of that, and I've heard of that, and I've heard of this, and heard of that, because I've gone through over 6,000 clients, and I really talk to people. So I definitely recommend my consultations and on my course page. Secrets on going 14 years without cheating on sugar. Oh, just the longer you do it, the easier it is. Like, when you learn about how nasty that food is and how bad it is, like, to be 54 going on 55 and you're like, oh, I still look like Stephanie, that's the carrot for me. That's the proverbial carrot, because I don't have time to get old. I got stuff to do. I don't want to look in the mirror and be like, oh my god, I need plastic surgery, and look like that. No. You just want to have a lot of energy. You want to look at yourself and feel like you are yourself. And to me, why would I want to eat garbage? I know what it does to the body. I saw myself aging when I was in my mid-30s eating that crap. Why would I do that? Oh, hell no. I'm wrinkle-free at 58. What, Susan? What? That's what I'm talking about. Now let's just hope you have the collagen that you need. Like, oh my god. Sugar's poison, yeah. It damages the cells. It's called advanced glycation end product. It damages the protein lining of cells if you have too much of it. And I had the carbs and the sugar and the candy and the chocolate. Like, I'm good. I'm Gucci. All I need is some organ meats that are cooked well, and I'm fabulous. What I need is a home for my 3 fur babies that are equine and to live my best life. I almost bought this property, you guys, 21 acres, but Starlink didn't work there. I could not get internet there. I'm like, how am I going to run a business? The land is perfect, but how am I going to run my business if there's no internet? So then, frack, I had to start over again, and I'm really frustrated. I passed yesterday on the land. Okay, guys, time for me to go. Thank you so much for joining this live. I just hadn't gone live for a couple of days, and I wanted to, so thank you for joining this chat with me. And I hope that this live gave you some insight on how to start and what things to consider and why only do it for 3 months max, and understanding if you've got any gallbladder symptoms, which is the right side pain, middle of the stomach pain, shoulder blade, bloated, or an aversion to fat. And if you do have a fat issue, I highly recommend to not do high fat carnivore or even do high protein, because then you got to deal with the kidneys, which affect the gallbladder. So if you're doing high protein, you could jack up the gallbladder inadvertently anyway by not doing high fat. So it's always going to be high fat. And then also you have to consider maybe doing low carb, high fat, and then doing all the necessary things to kind of heal that gallbladder, and then going into carnivore, high fat carnivore. But you should only do it if your skin's jacked up, your insulin's jacked up. Otherwise, keto omnivore, that's the best diet to sit at, because you can still eat the cruciferous vegetables and live your best life. The fur babies. All right, guys, thank you so much for this live. Don't forget to like up the stream. People on the replay, I don't check to see who's liking it, no mo. But it's time for me. I passed 100,000 subscribers, and then they toggled me down, and it's time to, take this stuff serious. I mean, it's time for me to take my business serious, because I'm such a bad businesswoman that I don't sit there and completely pimp and hoe myself out, but I'm going to have to do it just a little bit, but in a way where I don't hurt anybody, because that is not what I want, or lie to anyone. All right, guys. Mwah. Energy, energy, energy at 54 going on 55. Let's keep it rolling. No cheating. No refeeding. And I'm out.